Buddhaṃ 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 Vande Dhammang 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 Vande Sanghang 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 Vande Buddhaṃ Dhammang Sanghang Vande Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Cattarimāni bhikkhave dhammā katame cattaro Atti bhikkhave dhammā abhiññā pariññeyyā Atti bhikkhave dhammā abhiññeyyā pahātambā Atti bhikkhave dhammā abhiññā bhavetambā Atti bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā saccikātambāti. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dhamma, homage to the Sangha. Dear friends in Dhamma, today we are going to discuss one of the main discourses in Buddhism, which means Abhinna Sutta. The discourse of insight or the discourse of supernormal knowledges. Actually, this is a very important topic, important discourse in Buddhism. I think you can remember we have discussed this topic several times in our previous classes. However, it is very important. That is why we are going to discuss it again. Before we start this discourse, we are going to explain the path of Buddhism, the gradual path of Buddhism. Okay, before we are going to discuss this discourse, we are going to discuss the primary doctrines in Buddhism, primary teachings in Buddhism. Okay, I think it is very useful for you. These students have been coming more than 4 years, and then that is why I am going to explain some primary techniques, some primary teachings in Buddhism. Okay, according to what the Buddha taught, Buddha explained his message in short, in a stanza, in a verse, like Sabba Papa Sakaranam, not to do evil. Kusalassa upasampada, practicing good deeds. Sacitta pariyodapanam, purifying one's mind. Ethang buddhanusasanam. This is the message of the Buddha. There are 3 advice we can see there. What they are? Not to do evil, practicing good deeds, and purifying one's mind. Only these 3 things that Buddhism has explained. What they are? Not to do evil, practicing good deeds, and purifying one's mind. Not to do evil means, especially, we practice 5 precepts in Buddhism. 5 qualities, 5 human qualities. They are Pānātipātā Veramani, abstaining from taking life. Adhinnādāna Veramani, abstaining from stealing. Kāme Sumicchāchāra Veramani, abstaining from sexual misconduct. Musāvādā Veramani, abstaining from false speech. And Suramere Majjapamādaṭṭhāna Veramani, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. These are the primary techniques, primary teachings in Buddhism. This is the foundation in Buddhism. Can you remember those things? The first one is abstaining from taking life or killing. abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. When we follow these things, actually we usually say that we protect these things. It means actually he who follows these things is protected by the 5 precepts. We usually say that we protect them. Actually, which happens that these 5 things protect us. When we abstain from taking life, when we abstain from stealing, when we abstain from sexual misconduct, actually that good behavior protects us. That is why Buddha says, Dhammo have rakkati dhammacharing. He who follows the Dhamma is protected by the Dhamma. If we can practice these 5 human qualities, actually we have an assurance, protection, refuge, safety in this world. Because nobody can disturb, nobody can criticize us when we practice these 5 things. At least, if you can practice 3 qualities among them, which they are abstaining from false speech, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct. If you can practice at least these 3 qualities completely, actually you are an honorable person, you are a respectful person in this society. If someone knows that you are completely abstaining from stealing, sexual conduct and false speech, actually they trust in you. They are ready to give you everything. Their children, their husbands, their wives, they are ready to live at your home because they have no problem, because they have no doubt about you. If we can practice these 5 things, actually we are really appreciated in this society. We are really honored. We are respectful persons in this society if we can practice these 5 things. That is why Buddha says, he who practices Dhamma, he who follows the Dhamma is protected by the Dhamma. 5 precepts are one of the main teachings in Buddhism. The other one is, we should understand the qualities of the Dhamma. Dhamma means what the Buddha taught, Buddhist teachings. When we discuss Buddhism, we should understand 3 refuges. There are 3 refuges. They are the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. We say these 3 things as triple gem. Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Buddha means Buddha's enlightenment. Dhamma means Buddha's teachings. Sangha means Buddha's noble disciples. When we discuss Dhamma, we should understand the qualities of the Dhamma. There are 6 qualities of the Dhamma what the Buddha taught. They are Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. Sanditiko, visible results. Akaliko, immediately effective. Ehipassiko, calling one to come and see. Opanayiko, leading onwards. And Pacchatthang Veditabbo, to be personally realized by the wise. Especially when we practice Dhamma, we can see visible results, immediate effectiveness. That is very important. That is why Buddha says, he who practices Dhamma is happy. Because day by day, when we go forward with good qualities, with the Dhamma, then little by little, we purify our mind. The main purpose of all Buddhist doctrines is that to purify our mind. Our success, our happiness completely depends on how far we have purified our mind. In here, it is very important to understand the negative thoughts, unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. What are the negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind? What are the evil thoughts, negative thoughts? unwholesome thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. According to Buddhism, there are 1,500 negative thoughts, defilements, evil thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. 1,500 negative thoughts. Among them, all of them can be included into 3. Then we can remember them. What are those 3 things? Yes, greed, anger, and delusion. Greed means attachment, covetousness, lust, lustful desire, craving, like that there are several synonyms. And the second one, anger or ill will or hatred. The third one, delusion or ignorance. These are the main negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. Greed, anger, and delusion. There are several synonyms that we can see in Buddhism for these 3 words. These are the words in English. In Buddha's language, in Pali, we say lobha, dosa, moha. The very first one is lobha. And the second one, dosa. Lobha, dosa, and moha. Okay, lobha means greed, covetousness, attachment, desire, lust, lustful desire, craving, like that. And anger means hatred or ill will, dosa. Delusion means ignorance, moha, delusion or ignorance. These are the main unwholesome mental states, negative thoughts, evil thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. All Buddhist doctrines focus on reducing these 3 things. The more we reduce these 3 things, the more we are happy. The more we have overcome these negative thoughts, the more our mind is pure. The more our mind is pure, the more we are happy. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. Buddhism also focuses on achieving happiness, gaining happiness. And whatever we do in the name of Buddhism, we purify our mind from these negative thoughts. When we meditate, when we practice generosity, when we associate with others, when we observe precepts, when we help others, whatever we do in our day-to-day life, we focus on reducing these 3 negative thoughts. And also at the same time, we reduce another 3 things. There are another words in Buddhism, in Pali language. They are tanha, ditthi, mana. The first one is tanha, the second one is ditthi, the third one is mana. What is tanha? Again, it means craving or lust. Ditthi means wrong views or self-views. And mana means conceit. Attachment or craving, self-view or wrong views, and conceit. These are the negative thoughts. The more we reduce these 3 things, the more we are happy. Sometimes some people, when they do some good activities, as the name of merits, sometimes these negative thoughts increase. But our purpose should be reducing these 3 things. But unfortunately, when some people do some meritorious deeds, their tanha, their craving gradually increases. their ditti, self-views, their own views increase. Their conceit increases. Actually, if these negative thoughts, unwholesome thoughts increase, our effort, our activities are useless. Always we should reflect on it, whether these three things increase or decrease. If we do something, when we do something, if these three things increase, actually we should stop our activities. We should reflect on it again and again, whether my tanha or craving, wrong views and mana, conceit increase or decrease. And we should understand, we should have an assurance that these negative thoughts never increase. However, the Buddhist doctrines can be divided into two. All Buddhist doctrines that Buddha has explained for 45 years in his lifetime can be included into two. One of them is that which belongs to mundane level. Mundane level. Mundane level means in the samsaric circle. In this level, we can see some good qualities in other religions too. In the mundane level, we can practice some qualities with the understanding of the karmic law. Here, the foundation is the karmic law. Mundane level means that we think there is a particular world, there is a permanent world. Before we were born, there was a world. After we die, the world that we lived remains. That is the nature of this truth. This is not the absolute truth, but this is also a truth. First level, in the first stage, would explain how we succeed in this level. If we want to succeed this level, we should reduce those three negative thoughts, greed, anger and delusion in some levels. For that, with the understanding of the karmic law, have you heard about karma or karmic law, the theory of karma?
Karma, yes.
Yes, karma means whatever we do, physically, verbally or mentally with pollution, with intention. If we do something with a pure mind, physically, verbally or mentally, we will have fruitful results, good results. If our mind is polluted with a wicked mind, if we do something with physically, verbally or mentally, we will have bad results, evil results. That is the understanding of the karmic law. If we have this understanding, we always try to purify our mind from greed and anger. The purpose of this level to overcome greed and anger. If we want to overcome greed and anger, Buddhism has explained some techniques that we can practice. For that, Buddhism says three meritorious deeds: generosity, virtue, and meditation. These are the primary techniques in the mundane level. They belong to the samsaric circle. In this level, we think there is a world. For example, before you came, there was a temple or Buddhist church here. After you leave, the church remains. It belongs to conventional truth. It is not absolute truth. But in this level, with the understanding of the karmic law, we practice generosity. We offer something to others. We are generous. We are ready to offer something. That is why Buddha says, if you know the benefits of offering something to others, you never eat something without offering to nearby. It has a result. That is why Buddha says, if you know the result of generosity, you never eat anything without offering something to who is nearby. And also, that is the very first one. And finally, the highest generosity is that giving the Dhamma, giving advice. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. Sabbadhanam Dhammadhanam jinati. If you give a food to someone, it's beneficial to 1 day or 2 days. If you give a shirt or clothes to someone, it is beneficial for 1 year, 2 years. If you give a job to someone, it is beneficial until he will retire. If you give a house to someone, it is beneficial until he dies. But if you give some positive thoughts, Dhamma, food for mind, it is beneficial to his entire life, entire samsaric circle. That is why Buddhism has emphasized the importance of giving the Dhamma. Sabbadhanam Dhammadhanam jinati. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. Here, virtue means discipline in our speech and behavior. Meditation means loving kindness. The technique of reducing greed is that practicing generosity. When we are generous, then little by little we reduce greed. And also anger. Anger is one of the main reasons that disturb our peace of mind. That is why Buddha says, Yantam santam padang abhisamecce. He who wishes to attain the peace of mind, sabbe sattva bhavantu sukhisatta, should reflect, should contemplate on, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Practicing loving kindness is the very first step of the liberation, of the peace of life. And here it is very important to practice loving kindness meditation. We always think, contemplate on, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again we practice. In this level, mundane level, the highest meritorious deed is that practicing loving kindness. When we practice loving kindness, metta bhavana, we can develop our spirituality to the maximum level in the mundane level. That's very important. Not only hereafter, but we can see the results in this immediate life. Anger is one of the main reasons that disturbs our peace of mind. That is why psychiatrists recommend us to practice loving kindness for stress management. Last 4 or 5 decades, a lot of psychiatrists have recommended to practice 2 things. One of them is loving kindness, and the other one is mindfulness for stress management. When our mind is stressed, we have to practice loving kindness, because anger is one of the reasons. And also the other one is mindfulness. The reason is that we always live in the past experience. That is why we are stressed. If we can keep our attention in the present moment, actually we can overcome a lot of problems. In the present moment we have no problems. Problems are in the past or future. It doesn't mean that we should not think our past or future. We can think. But we should understand, now I am in the present moment. Living in the present moment, we can reflect on anything which happened in the past, which will happen in the future. But we have consciousness, we have awareness, mindfulness that I am here. But the problem is, when we think something which happened in the past, when we think something which will happen in the future, we don't know that now I am in the present moment. That is the problem. When you remember someone who has blamed you, when you remember that incident, that person doesn't know it. But when you think it, you are in the past experience. A person can blame you once. A person can blame you once if you are ignorant. If you are not mindful, you are blamed again and again. That is why Buddha says mindfulness is the best friend. All Buddhist doctrines can be included in mindfulness. And however, in this level, we practice these three meritorious deeds: generosity, virtue, and meditation. Generosity means charity or sharing or offering something to others, giving something to others. Virtue means discipline our speech and behavior. In short, practicing 5 precepts. Meditation means loving kindness meditation, thinking thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. As the result of practicing these 3 things, these qualities, we can receive some results, benefits in this immediate life. What they are? Yes, we receive 4 benefits, 4 results as the result of practicing this path with the understanding of the karmic law. They are Ayu, Vanno, Sukhang, Balang. Ayu means longevity. Vanna means good complexion. Sapa means comfort. Bala means strength of power. These are the visible results. When you practice this path with the understanding of the karmic law, you receive immediate results, visible results. What they are? Longevity, good complexion, comfort, and strength. That is another result that we receive throughout practicing this path. What is that?
Meeting good friends.
Yes, very good. We meet good friends, associating with good friends. The more you practice good qualities, the more you meet good friends. That is a very good result. And we meet good association, noble friends who practice Dhamma. And with the association of the good friends, we listening to the Dhamma. And one of them is that we understand the heavenly path. Heavenly path means, not only we live happily with those benefits in this immediate life, after we die, we receive a blissful life. Sometimes you don't believe next life, it doesn't matter. But however, everyone likes to succeed this immediate life. When we practice this path, we can see the results. Not only that, especially, we will receive a blissful life after we die. Buddha says, what is the path to have a blissful life hereafter? In the Discourse of Punyabhisanda, the Discourse of meritorious streams, Buddha explained the path, how we make a blissful life. For that, Buddha says, the devotion in the triple gem, the confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and also practice in 5 precepts. Not only that, if you can practice any particular concentration meditation, there are 40 meditation techniques, 40 meditation techniques in Buddhism in Samatha Bhavana. If you can practice those techniques at least 10 minutes per day, it means that you have an assurance that you never fall into hell. Not only we don't go to hell, but we can make a heaven, we can make a Brahma realm in this immediate life. That is why Buddha says, Susukangvata jivama verinesu averino, verinesu manusyesu viharama averino. Let's live happily, without anger, among the people, those who are angry. This is the task to make a beautiful place in this world. If we have no anger, we can see the beauty of our life. Again Buddha says, Susukangvata jevama ussukesu anussuka ussukesu manussesu viharama anussuka. Let's live happily without seeking sensual pleasures among the people, those who are longing, who are seeking the sensual pleasure. The ordinary people always, they want to see some beautiful things. They want to listen to some beautiful things with lust. But we are ready to overcome lust and anger. We are going to be happy, purifying our mind. But other people who doesn't know the Dhamma, they are going to be happy, developing, increasing their lust and anger. But we are going to be happy, reducing lust and anger. That is the difference. And however, the important thing is, Buddhism always emphasizes how we make a heaven, how we make a Brahma realm in this immediate life. When we practice dana, sila and bhavana, generosity, virtue and meditation, we can make a heaven. We can make a Brahma realm in this immediate life. Especially, Buddhism says 4 sublime states. Satara Brahma Viharana. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. Metta means loving kindness. Karuna means compassion. Mudita means sympathetic joy, the opposite of jealousy. And Upekka means equanimity, making an unshakable mind, balanced mind. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka are the things that Brahmas are living with. In the Brahma realm, we are in the human realm, there is the heavenly realm, and the upper realm is the Brahma realm. In the Brahma realm, beings, they live with these 5 things. Brahmas are living with these 4 sublime states. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. Loving kindness, Karuna, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. He who practices these 4 things makes a Brahma realm in this human life. While we are having a physical human body, mentally we are in the Brahma realm. This is the way how we make a Brahma realm, Brahma world. And also not only that, now we are going to explain the other thing in Buddhism. It doesn't belong to the samsaric circle. Until we explain some things until now, they belong to the samsaric circle. What is the meaning of samsaric circle? We are coming back again and again to the world. We were born and we are going to old age, we will die, we will reborn again and again. We come to this circle. That is the thing, a lot of religions explain this path. But even Buddhists, they know only this path that we have already explained, mundane level. That is why some people think that, some people say that everywhere that we can see the same light. In the mosque, in the church, in the temple, in the kovil, everywhere we can see the same lamp. It is true, but only in the mundane level. When we go to the next level, in the supra-mundane level, Buddhist light is different. In this level, in the mundane level, some doctrines that we can see in many religions are same. That is why some people say that the lamp is, every church is same. But when we go to the next level, Buddhist light is different. What is that? In this level, Buddhism explains how we overcome the samsaric circle. How we jump from the samsaric circle. How we overcome the samsaric circle. And here, it is very important to understand the dependent origination. In the mundane level, we have to be aware of, we should know the karmic law, cause and effect. But in this level, karmic knowledge is not essential, and here especially the important thing is here that understanding the dependent origination of Paticcasamuppada. What is the Paticcasamuppada? What is the dependent origination? This is the very important thing. Understanding the dependent origination of Paticcasamuppada is the understanding the Buddhism. That is why Buddha says, Yo Paticcasamuppadam passati somam passati. He who sees the dependent origination sees me. Yo Dhammam passati somam passati. He who sees the Dhamma sees me. He who sees the dependent origination sees the Dhamma. He who sees the Dhamma sees the Buddha. Understanding the dependent origination is the path to understand the Buddha. What is the dependent origination? Understanding the impermanence. Impermanence is the main topic in Buddhism. You know, when we ask someone what the impermanence is, that they always say that changing. And now we are in young age, one day we are going to old ages, one day we will die, and this building one day will be destroyed, and we are going to canal one day, and we are going to sicknesses, we are going to old ages, death. This is the difference. This is the impermanence that someone explains. But Buddhist impermanence is different. Changing and impermanence are different in Buddhism. Buddhism says viparinama and anicca. Viparinama means changing. Anicca means impermanence. You know, changing or viparinama can be realized by anyone. Even scientists, dividing atoms, they have discovered the changing. It is very easy to understand. But impermanence is different in Buddhism. Changing can be realized by anyone. But impermanence means that I is impermanent. What is the meaning of I is impermanent? I is impermanent means that this I, not the physical I, the ability of seeing, that I arises when some conditions are here. There are some forms, lights, consciousness like that. There are several reasons at the same time. When we have these conditions, we can see something. When we have some conditions, we can hear something, like this sound. This sound was not here before you heard it. After you heard it, it doesn't remain. Our all experiences that we receive through our six senses also like that. We can understand sound very clearly, but when we see something, what happens to us? We think that before we see something, it was here. After we see it, still it is happening. It is here, but it is not true. Our all experiences that we receive through our six senses are also like that. The experience arises at the moment. When you look at me at the moment, you have some experience. When your mind changes, suddenly this form changes. Now you are happy with me. If I give something for you, your mind changes. Then I also changes. If I blame you, now you are happy. After I blame you, suddenly your mind changes. Then you may get angry with me. Then this form changes. Actually, this physical it doesn't change. But when our mind changes, automatically the experience changes. This is the nature of our life. If we can understand, if we can realize this truth, actually we always reflect on impermanence. The more we practice, we reflect on impermanence, the more we reduce attachment and even detachment, or greed and anger. Here, the discourse of Abhinna, now we are coming to the topic. Buddha says, if you are going to realize this path, this reality, this is one of the main discourses. Buddha says in this discourse, there are 4 things that we have to do. What they are? One of them should be understood. The second one should be overcome, given up. The third one should be practiced. The fourth one should be realized. Buddha says, as a wise person with the supernormal knowledge, there is something that we have to understand. The first thing that we have to comprehend, we have to understand with the supernormal knowledge is that the 5 aggregates, the 5 grasping aggregates. This is a very big topic in Buddhism. 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa means forms or corporeality. Vedana, feelings. Sanya, perception. Sankhara, mental formations. And Vijnana, consciousness. This is the bottom level of our all experiences. Our life is like an iceberg. We can see a few things after the water of the iceberg. A lot of things under the water. Our life also like that. We can see some pictures, some sounds, some flowers or something in the upper level, like the thing which is in the iceberg. But the bottom level of our life is that these 5 aggregates. This is the invisible hand that controls our life. These 5 things always arise and cease. We are unable to see these things physically. We should understand these 5 things mentally, wisely, with our insight. Throughout listening to Dhamma, throughout practicing insight meditation, we realize, we understand these 5 things. We don't need to give up those 5 things. We don't need to fight with these 5 things. The only thing that we have to do with these 5 things is that understand. Buddha has explained we have to do only thing for these 5 things, which is that understanding or comprehension. And by the supernormal knowledge, the thing that we should understand is that the 5 grasping aggregates, the 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa forms, Vedana feelings, Sanya perceptions, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. These 5 things are together. We are unable to divide these 5 things. They cannot be divided. They arise together. They immediately cease together according to our present mental condition. The very first experience is unable to control because it is the result of our previous actions. But the second one, if we are ignorant, suddenly the next thing arises with our ignorance, then that brings us suffering. The first thing is neither white nor black, neither wholesome nor unwholesome. The very first experience is neutral. But if we are ignorant, suddenly the second experience arises. We see that there is something outside. Then we are ignorant. Then we are not aware from samsara or death, separation, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, we are hugging them. And here Buddha says, as a wise person, the most important thing that we should be realized by the supernormal knowledge is that the five aggregates or the five grasping aggregates. As the result of his, long journey by practicing Dhamma, he realized this message. As a wise person, the highest things that we should realize is that five aggregates. The second one, Buddha says, what are the important things that we should give up? Buddha says, ignorance and craving for existence. Here, we have to overcome this, avijja, bhavatanha. Avijja and bhavatanha, abhinya pahatabba. Atti bhikkhave dhamma, abhinya pahatabba. There are some doctrines that we should overcome by supernormal knowledge. They are ignorance and attachment to the world, attachment to the consistence, attachment to the existence. They are ignorance and attachment. The third one, Buddha says, what are the things that we should develop with the supernormal understanding knowledge? They are concentration and insight meditation. Or in another words, we can see them serenity and discernment. As a wise person, the highest qualities that we can practice, we can develop to the maximum level are samatha and vipassana. As we always mention that these are the real qualities that we can achieve in our life. Concentration or samatha is like Buddhist concentration or samadhi or tranquility. Keeping our attention in a particular wholesome object for a long time, then our mind is in samadhi, in concentration, in tranquility. The duration of concentration or samadhi is our GPA, grade point average, or IQ. If you need to go forward in Buddhist education, Buddhist GPA, Buddhist grade point average or IQ or intelligent quotient is that the duration of concentration. By practicing some samatha bhavana, by practicing anapanasati, by practicing loving kindness, contemplating on death, contemplating on four fundamental elements, there are 40 meditation techniques. By using any particular meditation technique, if we can increase the duration of concentration, that is the real success, real GPA in Buddhism. If we want to go forward in Buddhist GPA, we have to increase the duration of concentration. At the moment, we are in the Brahma realm, mentally. Physically, we are in the human realm, but mentally, we are in the Brahma realm. Then we can feel our physical illnesses, physical pains at the moment. And not only GPA, Buddhism says, but EQ too, emotional quotient. What is the Buddhist EQ? Buddhist EQ means the duration of vipassana bhavana, the duration of reflecting on impermanence. The more you can concentrate your mind in insight meditation, the more your EQ is very high. This is Buddhist IQ. Even though some people have very high GPA in their education, sometimes when someone blames them, they get angry, they are unhappy. But if you develop your GPA in Buddhism, never someone can disturb your peace of mind. Nobody or nothing can disturb your peace of mind. When they change some form, sounds, smell, you don't shake. Your mind is unshakable. That is why Buddhist GPA is more important than the GPA in education. Sometimes you have seen some professors, some very professional people, even though they are well educated, when someone makes a joke, suddenly they get upset. When someone blames them, suddenly they are unhappy. They get upset. But here, if you can develop these qualities, then you can develop your personality. These are the real qualities that we can develop our personality that no one can disturb. And however, Buddhist EQ is very important. Insight meditation or Vipassana Bhavana reflecting on impermanence. According to 6 internal senses, 6 external objects, 18 elements, 5 aggregates, we reflect on it again and again as impermanent, as egoless, as dissatisfactory. Then, as the result of practicing this path, as soon as you experience something through your senses, you are like the one who goes to the mirror. When you go to a mirror, the reflection arises at the moment, immediately. When you go away, when you leave the mirror, immediately that reflection ceases, disappears there. Our all experiences are also like that. When you see something, when you taste something, when you hear something, when you smell something, when you feel something, when you remember something, our all experiences are also like that. They are not permanent. They don't come continuously. Every moment they arise and cease with the conditions. If you can understand this reality, actually we have overcome the samsaric circle. That is why Buddha says, these karmas, these formal mental formations are neither black nor white, which help us to overcome the samsaric circle. Kammakkayaya samvatati, atti bhikkhave kammang akana sukha vipakang, kammakkayaya samvatati. There are some actions which cause neither black nor white results that help us to overcome the samsaric circle completely. Whenever you practice this path, it means you have achieved something that is why the fourth thing that Buddha says, Atti bhikkhave dhamma abhinna sachikatabba. Now we have some things which we achieve with our supernormal knowledges. They are Vijja, Vimukti, knowledge and liberation, or wisdom and liberation. These are the results. We can't gain them. When we practice Samatha and Vipassana, concentration and wisdom, as the result of this path, as the result of practicing concentration and insight meditation, we receive some benefits. We have some achievements. They are wisdom and liberation. The more we practice concentration and insight meditation, the more we have liberated from greed, anger and delusion. Finally, we see only arising and ceasing of our 5 aggregates. Nothing else. Then, when we remember our children, we know very well 5 aggregates arise and cease. When we remember my job, when we remember a person who has blamed me, when we remember someone who has helped me a lot, as my parents, everything that I experience is the five aggregates. They arise at the moment, they immediately cease. I have nothing to catch, attach or detach. I have nothing to like or dislike. Then we make an unshakable mind, equal mind, that no one can disturb. That is the supreme blessing that Buddha explained. Puttassa loka dhammehi cittang yassana kampati asokang virajang khemang ekam mangalamuttamam. Among the world which is consists with the 8 worldly conditions, labha, gain and loss, yasayasa, honor and dishonor, prasansa ninda, praise and blame, yasayasa, chapaduk, happiness and misery. We make an unshakable mind. Make an unshakable mind, make a balanced mind is the supreme blessing that the Supreme Buddha has explained. And this path, in the mundane level, we practice generosity, 5 precepts, and loving kindness meditation. In the second level, in the supra-mundane level, with the understanding of the dependent origination, we understand the 5 aggregates, we overcome ignorance and the craving for existence, and we develop samatha and vipassana, concentration and insight. We achieved wisdom and liberation. Then this is the path that we can give a value to our life. Even though we are well educated, even though our children are well educated, even though we are very rich, even though our physical body is very beautiful, actually we are not successful. Our success completely depends on how far we can practice this path to the maximum level. Making an unshakable mind, making a balanced mind it should be our goal. Making an unshakable mind should be our goal. That is the real way how we can give a very good value to our life. And all Buddhist doctrines help us to develop our value to the maximum level. Now our life is not valuable because anyone or anything can disturb our peace of mind anytime. But if we can make an unshakable mind that nobody or nothing can disturb, that is the way how we give the real value to our life. Then the more we learn the Dhamma, the more we practice Dhamma. The more we practice Dhamma, the more we reduce anger, greed and delusion. The more we reduce anger, greed and delusion, the more we have purified our mind. The more we purify our mind, the more we have overcome suffering. This is the path to give a real value to our life. For that, I wish you all the best. Have any questions? Yes?
This word at the top of the page, can you pronounce that? Abhinna.
Abhinna Sutta.
Is the N the same as in Spanish? Is it an enye?
Yes, enye.
And if we put them together, what do you do with your mouth?
Abhinna, 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 Abhinna.
So you drag it out.
Abhinna.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Abhinna in Sanskrit. Abhinna in Buddha's language in Pali.
Can you repeat that again?
Abhinna here. Abhinna in Sanskrit. Abhinna.
With a Y.
The other one is Abhinna. This is Sanskrit. Abhinna. Jnana. Abhinna. This is jnana, a little different. Mm-hmm. Yes, you are. Okay, you are welcome. Have any question? Okay, when you come to the class continuously, actually we repeat these same things. And again, we discuss some topics to the deeper level. And some days we discuss some topics to the deeper level. And actually today we discuss some common things in Buddhism. However, there are other very deep concepts, very deep topics in Buddhism. Every day, every Tuesday we discuss some topics. And when you are listening to Dhamma, it is also one of the techniques that we can overcome our negative thoughts, like a meditation technique. If you have good attention to the Dhamma, actually at the moment you are meditating. Meditation means in Buddhism that developing our mindfulness and mindful meditation. Whatever we do in the name of Buddhism, we develop our mindfulness and mindful meditation. Mindfulness means living in the present moment with the awareness of our body and mind at the present moment. Mindful meditation means reflecting on impermanence of our body and mind. Then our mind is not fixed anything nor anyone outside. Our mind is completely depends on inside meditation or vipassana or wisdom. Then we don't depend on outside. Now we depend on outside. When a baby plays here, suddenly you look at it. And when someone's phone rings, suddenly you look at that person, look at his or her bag, and you remember his father's brothers, parents, and also. And you have gone for a long way. But if you are mindful, when you are listening to someone's phone is ringing, you look at inside, what happens to my mind at the moment? When you see a beautiful person, you look at inside, what happens to my mind? And that is the real way, the inside meditation. The ordinary people, they always respond to others, they always look at outside. But we who know the Dhamma, we look at inside. When we experience something, we suddenly look at inside, what happens to my mind at the moment? When someone blames me, what happens to me? When someone has lust, what happens to me? Sometimes we have no time to look at inside. We look at others' behaviors. What is he looking at? What is he thinking? We always look at others. Actually, it is not the duty of a person who has listened to Buddha's message. We always look at inside, what happens to me at the moment. That is the way how we become the real liberation, freedom. That is the real liberation. If we depend on outside, actually we are like prisoners. We have no liberation, we have no freedom. If we want to become the liberation, freedom, we should look at inside. And for that, I wish you all the best. By the power of this spiritual energy, may our departed relatives also receive this spiritual energy. May they enhance their spiritual power and may they attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with our departed relatives. Idamme ñātenang hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātenang hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātenang hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, may guardian deities and angels also receive this spiritual energy. May they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation, Nibbana. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels too. ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ශාසනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු දේශනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ත්වං සදා. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no problems come to you, may no difficulties come to you. By the power of all these spiritual energy, may you attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham panta cha niddukkha, bhayam panta cha nibhaya, sokam panta cha nissoka, hontu sambe pipanino. Sadhu, sadhu.